Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Growth Hacks and Marketing Chats. It's me, Abby.
And I'm Lisa.
We are back with you guys today to go over Chapter 8 of our Marketing Alchemy Unlocked, Mind-Blowing Strategies for Merry Market-Wise Marketing Workbook.
Chapter 8 of our workbook. And Chapter 8 is on analyzing and optimizing so that you can see continuous improvement, that you can, fine-tune your marketing plan so that your dollars spent are spent in the most efficient way.
Yeah, all about maximizing your ROI and making sure that you are minimizing as many wasted resources as you have.
Right, so ROI, return on investment. That is one of the most key metrics that a marketing team will be looking at throughout the year and when they're making their plans for the following year. So it's something that you need to consider.
Yeah, absolutely.
So part of the key there is in maximizing your ROI is to reduce wasted resources. But there's a kind of a balance here in marketing is testing. So when you're making a marketing budget, you want to reduce waste, but you also want to try new things. So every year you're going to be adding, part of your marketing budget will be adding something that you haven't done before, but also putting a lot of money into the things that you're seeing that have worked. So there's a sort of a balance. So you have to allocate certain funds because you want to keep the different marketing mediums that you use. You want to make sure that you're testing continuously.
Yeah, because different things help different people to market their companies better, and you don't know what those things are until you start to test out different avenues. And so it's all kind of, it's all backed by understanding the market and understanding what other people are doing, but also a lot of like testing and really trying to figure out what specifically for your company will work best. And that has a lot to do with understanding your target audience and understanding like what it is that people are looking for when you're trying to sell them your product and where they would be looking for that product.
Yeah, not to mention that the landscape changes and there's always something new to try or someone coming up with something new. And you want, as a marketer, you want to sort of analyze it and make sure that your target is going to be using that platform or benefit from that. But you do want to make sure that you're stay on top of the changes.
Yeah.
And so that will be where you would want to put money that you might not have put the year before. You always want to have something new that you're allocating to. And then when you do that, you test your ROI. You test to make sure that did that work? Was that a good investment? If not, you switch and change each year as you're going through it. So that's the basis of it. How you do that is, there's many different ways, but you need to make sure that no matter what marketing channel you choose, you have a way of testing the response to that. Otherwise, it's just a kind of a wasted exercise because if you can't test it, if you can't analyze it, then it's not something that you can use again and again.
Yeah, because you won't know if it's working. You'll have no idea if that campaign that you ran was actually beneficial to your business, and which ones were, which ones weren't, how beneficial they were, if they actually were accurate to the ROI you had assumed would happen if you put money into that. So you want to be able to track what you're doing, analyze what you're doing, and then you want to basically optimize it and then refine it to be to work exactly as you need it to work for your company.
And so there's a few metrics that you're going to be looking at as you start testing and looking from year to year and from what your plans are going to be. For example, you are going to be what we call the LTV or a lifetime value of your customer. So in some businesses, a customer has, well, all businesses, right, have a value. The customer is going to spend a certain amount of money within your company. Some of those are years. and some of those are one time. In understanding what that value is of each customer will help you to make decisions in what you're going to spend to bring in new customers, and are there ways for you to increase that lifetime value? Can you add a subscription to something? Can you add extra value to whatever your main service is? So that metric is a huge one to understand, because within your company, not having to spend a whole lot of money bringing in new people, you can spend some of the money in expanding the value of the customer that you already have. So that's a very, very important one to take a look at.
The next key metric that you can look at is the churn rate of your customers, which is basically whether or not, like, how often and how many people are leaving the relationship they have with you and going somewhere else.
Yeah, the phenomenon is known as the customer churn rate, right? So churn rate is how often do people leave? How often do you lose customers? It's, again, another important thing. You've already paid the money to bring the customer in. There's going to be a certain amount that leave for whatever reason they leave, and the better you are at having a lower churn rate, the better your company is, and your money can go, some marketing money can go to making a better customer experience so that you can lower the churn rate. Yeah. It's a very important ratio to understand in your company.
Yeah, and that goes, those retention skills and the retention methods that you're using to keep your customers there goes back to what we were talking about in previous chapters, about what is it that your target audience and your current customers need from you, and where are they looking, and how can you constantly keep them like coming back for more? Like what are those values that you're giving them? What is coming from you that they can't get from someone else, so that they will continue to use your company? That way you can have a lower churn rate.
Yeah. Next metric you'd want to look at is your referral conversion rate. So when someone refers someone to you, how many of the referrals actually become customers? Why is that important? It's important because, well, in most businesses, referral is the number one way that you're going to grow your business, which goes back to everything we've talked about. Having a good customer experience will create referrals. But how many of those people referring actually come through and become a customer? Why that's important is then you can take some of your marketing money and maybe make some referral programs so that you increase the amount of referrals that are coming into the company. Because if you know that 90% of the time a referral becomes a new customer, then you can put more money towards making sure that you have rewards for referrals or things like that. So understanding that in your business is extremely important also.
Yeah, because even like a lot of people refer businesses and companies just because they like them a lot and they've done good work and they think other people would benefit. And then it's always a good idea to try to kind of give people an incentive to refer to you as well. I feel like credit cards do that all the time. Like refer a friend, refer up to like 5 people and you get like $100 added.
Betray your friend's email, maybe a phone number.
And I will give you money.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Yeah, exactly.
I just see them all the time. They're always like refer people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, influencers and stuff like that. People that we tend to trust, especially our friends, but trust people to make purchasing decisions. So it's, in any business, it's pretty much the biggest way anybody grows is through the referral process. It's also can kill you. If someone's talking badly about your company, it can take you down. So it works both ways.
Yeah, which is why it's always important to, if people are saying bad things about your company online, and you are responding to those.
Yeah, for sure.
Making sure that you can either fix it, or maybe since they didn't go in the right direction to get their problem resolved or whatever, and you can lead them in that right direction. But people need to see that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, so then, you want to, as far as the chapter is concerned, you're going to be identifying trends and patterns. You're going to be testing and iterating the information, and you want to empower your team. So this chapter is about all the analysis that's going to happen and understanding your ROI, and then understand. So this is kind of where you will start to think about where your budgeting dollars will go. We need to spruce up our referral process? Do we need to lower our churn rate? Do we need to look at the lifetime value of our customers? And then we're gonna see what trends and patterns that we can see from all of this that we're taking a look at, that we're analyzing. The better you get at this and the fine tuning, the better you stretch your dollars, your marketing dollars, and the better your company grows. So this is an extremely important place to look at, and you need to make sure that each one of your marketing channels is able to track this information. It's just a waste of time if you're not tracking, because that's what marketing is. It's tracking those endeavors. Sometimes it's going to be a bust, but don't look at that as a failure. That lets you know we can't go that direction, or we need to tweak this. And every year you should have some busts. If you don't have any, that means you're not taking risks and you're not going outside the box, which is really important when you're competing with other companies in your same space.
Yeah, it's also, if your company hasn't been around long enough for you to have these trends already set in place, it's a great space for you to do research into what others who are in your same space are doing, and then decide based off of that, based off of research, based off what it is that you can afford, then this is where you start to just kind of test those waters. So if you feel like this is all like a lot and you don't have these kinds of like trends to look at, these rates to look at, these things to identify right now, there's nothing wrong with that. Just take this moment to kind of sit down and do that research to figure out what would be great for you to start with first, and then like where do we go from here, like as you start to see those trends. Because like we said, as you create this marketing plan, it changes all the time. So as you're putting like this information in, you're like, this is what we're going to be using now. This won't be the same next year as it was this year. And if you had already made one of these, this isn't going to be the same as it was last year. So don't get discouraged if you feel like you don't have all the right tools right now to do these pieces, because you absolutely do. You're just going to do them a little bit differently depending on where you are in your business's journey.
It's true. All right.
Yeah. So that is what we have for this chapter.
Make sure you go to the workbook, fill out the sections there.
And if you don't already have a copy of this workbook, then you can go ahead and click the link in our description and get yourself a copy on Amazon. And if you don't want a physical copy of the book, there is an ebook version. And if you don't want to write in the book, there is a way to go onto our website and download the workbook section of this workbook, so that you can print out multiples or put them on your iPad, and you can fill them out as you go.
And please remember that that you can contact us with any questions that you have. We are available to answer those questions for you if you get stuck, or you don't know how to implement some of the things that we've talked about. At any point, you can always reach out. We're willing and able and capable of helping you with that.
Yes, absolutely. So we want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode, and we know we're almost done with this workbook. I think we only really have 2 more chapters left to go, 2 more episodes to go. So we can't wait to talk to you guys about the next ones. And leave a like, follow, subscribe, and shout us out on your social media. If you do like this podcast and like these episodes and you share them online, tag us, and we'll be happy to, shout you out and acknowledge those, and, give you some more, pointers if you follow us on all of our social medias.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
Till next time. Thank you so much.